Hey everybody, CW here, Card Wolf, because I'm always on the hunt for great cards. Today I want to talk about card breaks. I know you've seen me participate in breaks and open my returns here on the channel, and some of you have asked me questions about them or told me that you feel a little bit unsure about getting involved in a break and even maybe hesitant to try to do it. And I really understand that breaks can seem intimidating and confusing, especially if you've never been in one before. So today I want to try and share some knowledge about what breaks are and what you should look for and also avoid, and also share a very basic sort of strategy that I use when I consider getting into a break myself. And so after this video, my hope is that it will not seem that complicated at all, and you'll have some tips that you can use if you decide to get into a break. And I'll also show some results of my strategy. I'm going to open this box, which I just got in the mail a few days ago, and it includes the results from a break that I participated in where I won 3 teams. So I did not watch the break. I never watch the breaks. They make me too anxious. I just get too, I don't know, it just isn't a pleasant experience for me. So I have no idea how I did, and we'll find out together here on the channel, as I always do. Caution up front, this is probably going to be a bit of a long video. I plan to cover a lot of info here that I think is really good stuff, and then we're going to open that break return at the end. So if you aren't interested in learning anything about breaks, if you already know about breaks and feel like you don't need to know anything new about that or whatever, then you can just skip to the break return at the end, or vice versa. If you're not interested in seeing the cards and you just want to learn about breaks, you can just watch the first part of this video. Either way, I hope you get something out of this. I'll start very basically with just what a break is, because I know some people seem, they're not quite sure even about that. And it's when someone, usually a dealer or a vendor, schedules an opening for a large amount of new sealed cards. And they sell spots to people like you and me, collectors or other sellers or speculators. And those spots are either for every card that the dealer pulls from a specific team, or every card of a specific player. It's either a team break or a player break. Most breaks are team breaks, but I do see player breaks out there too. So as an example, a dealer might decide to open a full case of Series 2 Topps Baseball, which you guys saw me open this box recently here on the channel. The dealer in this instance might decide to make it a team break. So all 32 teams are available, each one at auction. The highest bidder for each team will receive all the cards for that team out of the case that the dealer opens. Now that includes everything. If as an example, if you got the Phillies, it would include all the regular base cards, and you might get duplicates in some cases. It would also include any insert cards that came out of that case, including autos or inserts, or even cards from the silver packs, because they were a part of that case too. So you would get the entire team that came out of there, in this case the Phillies. If it were a player break, on the other hand, you would just get the player. So let's say that you chose, in this case, Zach Wheeler. So you would get, all the Zach Wheeler cards that came out of that box, including duplicates and including any inserts. There's an insert, so you would get all of those cards if it were a player break and you chose that player. And that's, pretty much what you're looking at as far as, what a break is. You get all of the cards from a team or all of the cards from a player, and it's pretty straightforward. A big question a lot of people have about participating in breaks is, how do you know you're really getting all the cards that you're due, that the dealer isn't, say, they open the case and they happen to be going through the pack, but they pull out, the best one and they put it back there, and so you never know that you got that. Well, most breaks these days are done live on video, and they're streamed, and you can watch them usually on YouTube or Facebook, and then afterwards the video is posted online, so people who can't view the live will still be able to watch if they want to. And this keeps everything honest, and if you wanted to, you can watch and see what cards from your team are pulled in real time. So it would be very hard for a dealer to sort of pull out cards. They go through them pretty quickly too on break videos. Now, there are a few things that go into deciding which teams that you might want to bid on, and I'll go into that in a moment, but it's important to understand that since the rights to each team are being auctioned and anybody can participate, some teams will sell for a lot more than other teams. If I continue to use our example of a Series 2 break, Corbin Carroll, for example, is a player that we know is really hot among collectors right now. He has his rookie card out there, and a lot of people, want to get Corbin Carroll cards. So the Diamondbacks are going for a lot of money in team breaks. On the other hand, a team like, for instance, I don't know, the Oakland A's, let's say. The Oakland A's don't really have a lot to offer. They do have some rookies like this card, for instance, but that's really about it. So the Oakland A's really are not going for that much money. To put some numbers on it right now, for full case breaks of Series 2, the Diamondbacks are going for $100 or more usually, whereas the Oakland A's are only going for about 10 or 20 bucks. So when you're looking into a break, you have to decide several things up front for yourself. Most basic are which team or teams are appealing to you and how much you're willing to spend for each of those teams. To help you decide these things, it can be useful to think about what you personally want to get out of a team. Are you doing this for fun, where maybe you just want to win your favorite team and just maybe enjoy the mystery of not knowing what you'll get, but knowing you'll like it because it's all from your favorite team? Or maybe you're doing it to try to get cards of, a hot rookie that you like. And you want to think that these cards will grow in value and be a part of your collection, or maybe you're just looking to flip them in the near term as singles, or maybe even you're doing it because you want to improve your chances of pulling some, really nice insert. You want to get some sort of an auto card or something like that. There's a big difference in opening one box as opposed to opening an entire case of them, so it's naturally going to improve your odds to get a card like that. All of these reasons are totally valid, but that will influence which teams you go for and how much you're willing to spend. So if you watch my channel a lot, you know that I like the Orioles, and I would usually try to get them in breaks. In recent years, they were typically pretty cheap to pick up because there were just not a lot of great stars on their team. They weren't a contention type team. They didn't win a lot of games. So spending 20 or 25 bucks to get multiple copies of cards from my favorite team and have a shot at inserts or parallels, that was fun for me, and it wasn't that expensive. This year, though, the Orioles have been a hot team in breaks because they have some nice rookies in 2023 sets. So they're no longer going for $25. This year, it's closer to like $100 and up. Separately from that, I also often try to get the Angels, not because I'm a huge Angels fan, but I do collect Ohtani, and I certainly see Mike Trout as, great card to pick up anytime you can get him. A lot of other people feel this way too, though, so that team usually goes for more than I'm willing to pay. But every now and then, I throw a low bid on the Angels, and I win them. If you watched the last break I showed here on this channel, you saw that I won the Angels, and I pulled several Ohtanis and Trouts, and that included an Ohtani swatch card. So that was a really great result for me. I got a great card that is something I want in my collection. I collect Ohtani, and having a swatch card of him is really excellent for me. So I was quite happy with that. And from the Orioles, which I paid more for than I have in past years, I pulled several Henderson and Rutschman rookies, including an image variation of Rutschman, which was also a really great hit for me. I was happy with that result. Pulling an auto in either of those cases would have been better, obviously, but getting an auto of a player you really want is kind of a grand slam type of hit. And I was happy with getting the cards I got. They were sort of like getting 2 home runs, so that was a great result. The truth is, most people will usually not end up getting that kind of a result. And while I don't always hit home runs every single time, I usually do come out strongly most of the time. And this is the part of the video where I want to share some tips about what to look for and what to avoid, and the strategy that I use when I'm considering a break. The most basic point is to look carefully at the listings. Most of them are on eBay. These are auction listings. In the example we talked about earlier, I imagined a full case break, and that's what you should always aim for. A dealer breaking a full case or more. This is an important point because more and more dealers are listing half case breaks, or even I've seen quarter case breaks. And from my point of view, that just doesn't make sense. Most hobby cases have 12 boxes. A quarter case has only 3 boxes. I mean, that's just not many cards split among 32 teams. A half case, I guess, is better, but it's still not giving you enough opportunity to hit a big card. So if a hobby box, say, has a guaranteed 1 auto or mem card, that's only 6 chances at getting one for your team in a half case break. A full case doubles that number, and if you can get into a 2-case break, then you're really setting yourself up with much better odds to land a nice card. Now, of course, a full case or a 2-case break, the teams are going to cost more than in a half-case break, but you're getting a lot more cards too. So to my mind, it's usually well worth it. In short, focus on breaks of a full case or higher. My next tip is also about looking really carefully at the listings. Once you find a full case break for the team that you want, read and examine the listing. The words you want to see in there are all cards send, or we send all cards. You're really looking for that kind of language. And the reason this is important is because lately, just in the last 2 or 3 years or so, I've been seeing a lot of dealers who write in their break listings that they will not send base cards of non-rookie players. You only get the rookies and the inserts and parallels, no veteran base cards. You really want to avoid those kinds of breaks. If you're buying the team, you should get all the cards for that team, if only for the principle of it. But even more than that, you have the potential to miss out on some great base cards. In the Angels break that I showed, I got, a bunch of Trout and Ohtani base cards, and they're not hugely expensive cards, but they certainly have value. And 10 years down the road, that value is going to have grown a lot. So as a general rule for team breaks, make sure that it states that they send all cards. And if it's unclear, just message the seller and ask to be sure. My last point about reading the listings is to always check their shipping policy. Some breakers will have a flat fee no matter how many teams you win, or they might only charge, say, an additional 50 cents per team after you win the first. If you're looking at potentially winning multiple teams, those are the kinds of breaks you really want to look for. Some breakers, on the other hand, do not combine postage, where they charge a lot of postage up front for the first team, which makes it kind of essential to try and get other teams to minimize the overall impact on what you're spending. So keep postage costs in mind. You don't want to be surprised with that. And at this point, I'm really just going to focus on sort of my strategy about the breaks themselves. These are things that I always do, and I found that they help me make really good decisions about what teams to go for. It all begins with the number one most important thing that you can do, which is study the checklists and any other info about the set that is being opened. This is absolutely essential. You should never go into a break without really knowing the checklist well. At the most basic level, this will tell you how many cards of a given team are in the base set and who those players are. Some teams may have a dozen different players on base cards, while other teams might only have 7 or 8. This means you will get more total cards from a team that has more cards in a set. It's just basic statistics. And so if volume matters to you, you need to know what the number is for your team compared to other teams. To me, volume is important because you really want to maximize what you're getting out of any break that you get into. At a higher level, you also need to pay close attention to the list of players who signed autographs for the set, who contributed mem cards to the set. Also try to understand which players are included in insert sets as parallels, numbered versions, all of that. Get a really good sense of what that looks like for your team. All of this information can vary widely from set to set. The amount of Phillies you get in Series 2 is different than you would get in Series 1, for example. And you have to have accurate and really realistic expectations for what you're probably going to receive to help you decide how much you're willing to pay for any given team. I can easily give you an example from this year's Series 1 and Series 2 sets. In fact, I mentioned Corbin Carroll earlier, and we all know that he's become a very sought-after rookie, certainly. If you were trying to get into a break in the hopes of scoring a bunch of his cards, you would be making a huge mistake buying the Diamondbacks in Series 1. There's only one Corbin Carroll card possible out of Series 1 packs, and it's an autographed card, which is very, very tough to pull. Series 2, on the other hand, has many Corbin Carroll rookies. Aside from his base cards and all the parallels, he also signed for several different subsets and is on a wide variety of inserts. You saw me pull 3 different Corbin Carrolls from this box that I opened, which was great, and it speaks to the frequency of that player's appearance in Series 2. Now, the opposite is true this year for another hot rookie, Gunnar Henderson. I pulled a bunch of his cards from the Series 1 box that I opened. I got this one graded. If I was trying to get Henderson cards out of Series 2, that would be a huge mistake. He has almost 0 cards in Series 2. So you really need to study the checklist. It's tremendously important in terms of understanding the autograph potential for your team as well. Teams with very few signers or non-star signers often don't go for very much in breaks because the auto hit is just not going to result in a valuable card, and it makes that team a lot less attractive to people. So if it's your favorite team, that can maybe, be good because you can get it for cheap, like I got the Orioles for so many years. But, you need to know about that. For like the Angels, that's one of the reasons they go for so much, because Ohtani and Trout often sign for the sets, and so people are hoping to pull their auto. Any set, though, it's going to change a lot, so you really need to follow the checklist. There could be several Hall of Famers signing, making that team appealing, but then the next series that comes out, they might not have anybody signing, or just a couple of average current players who, aren't likely to ever be Hall of Famers. Now, the reason I'm so focused on autos is because they're among the hardest cards to pull usually, and they're also among the most valuable. These are two reasons that make them a top priority when you're looking at breaks. First, because of their rarity, you're leveraging the huge amount of cards being opened in your favor. Tougher pulls get easier the more boxes that are being opened. And if you're like me, you're never going to buy a full case of cards to open all by yourself. It's too expensive. So buying into a break allows you to have that amazing number of cards, have that advantage, but it's way cheaper than buying a case yourself, and it's also more targeted towards just the cards you want. Due to the value of a good auto, if you pay $40 for a team and you pull one Hall of Famer auto with that one card, you basically just paid for the cost of that team. All the other cards are essentially a bonus. So studying checklists, it's just absolutely essential. You should never go into a break without really knowing it. I know what you're asking now is where to find the best checklists for new sets, the most comprehensive ones. And honestly, the best place I know of is a website called Cardboard Connection. They have full checklists for base inserts and auto and mem cards, all of it. They also show odds for most of this too. It's free. There are no strings attached. I'm not shilling for them or anything. I'm just telling you that's the site I use, and I think it's really comprehensive. The other great thing they do is they show you what the breakdown is for cases and boxes of a given product. To give you just an example of what I mean by that, Series 2 comes in jumbo boxes just like this and regular hobby boxes. So a quick look at their listing for this product shows that regular hobby boxes have 24 packs equating to 336 cards, while a jumbo box, it just has 10 jumbo packs, but that equates to over 450 cards. So that sounds great for jumbo boxes from a box point of view, but from a case perspective, a jumbo case has 2,700 total cards, but you'd get over 4,000 cards from a regular hobby case because there are 12 hobby boxes per case, but just 6 jumbo boxes per case. So that seems clearly in favor if you're doing a case break to do hobby boxes. But when you look closely at the numbers, a hobby box gives you an auto or a mem card and 1 silver pack. A jumbo box, as you can see here, guarantees an auto and 2 mem cards along with 2 silver packs. So jumbo boxes look pretty good in that comparison. And for me, I'd rather have more guaranteed autos and mem cards than more base cards. Now, I realize this is maybe more complicated than it needs to be, and it seems like a lot of math, but knowing these kinds of stats is exactly the stuff that can give you an edge in knowing what you can hope to get out of a break. The last tip I have, and then we can get to opening this box and seeing how I did in a real break using the strategy that I'm sharing with you, is to ignore something. Ignore factoring in really low-numbered inserts. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know, you want to get those really low-numbered inserts, but if you see something on the checklist that's like, for example, maybe a dual auto numbered to 10 and it looks amazing, you have to ignore that card even exists when you're thinking about which team you want. Your odds of pulling a card with that kind of scarcity are honestly not improved even in a multiple case break. You can never base your choices about teams on what you're willing to pay, hoping to pull a card like that, because it's just almost, there's really no difference in, opening, 3 cases of cards hoping to pull a card like that. I'll give you the reasoning why that's true. If we look again at Series 2, the stated odds for pulling a regular auto card are 1 in 232 packs. That's about 1 per case of regular hobby boxes. The stated odds for pulling a dual auto card, which are all numbered to 10 from Series 2, are 1 in 107,191 packs. That's 1 in 4,466 boxes. Cut signature cards, which are one-of-ones, are even rarer. They're 1 in 310,853 packs, which is 1 in about 13,000 boxes. that's crazy. And that's why those cards are so hard to find and why they're so expensive. But this is what I mean when I say that your odds to get one of those cards are not significantly impacted by a case or even several cases of cards getting opened. And that's why you should ignore those cards when you're making decisions about breaks. One might get pulled, of course, but these are so extremely rare that no one should include them as part of their decision making. Those are all of my tips, and I hope that they're helpful to you. If you have any other questions or you want to share tips of your own, I would love to read them in the comments. Just write them in the comments below, and any questions I'll obviously answer. I would love to learn any other tips that you have, and other people reading the comments might learn from you as well. So that means we get to open this box now. Let's going to have to move this stuff off the table and give myself some room here. Let me pause this while I do that. All right, so here we go. It's a lot of cards to move around there. This was, once again, Heritage Break. It's a product that I like, and I really like it, Heritage in breaks, because there are quite a few alternate designs and image variations that are very tough pulls, and they can be very valuable, enough to cover the cost of your break, much like a good autograph card. For this break, I won the Angels, as I often try to do, but also won the Cardinals and Phillies, which may surprise some viewers. I like those teams okay, but I wouldn't call myself a fan of them. So why did I go for the Phillies? They have 15 base set cards, which is a lot. They also have 10 high number cards, which is a way lot, and it's mostly as a result of their World Series appearance. All the World Series cards, are in the high number area. They also have Bryce Harper in most of the image and design variation parallel sets, whereas many teams do not even have a player in them, or they might have one player in one of the parallel sets. The Phillies also have 5 different autograph signers for this set, which is a lot. The big thing about that, too, is it includes 2 Hall of Famers, Steve Carlton and Mike Schmidt, both signed for this set. That is a big number for one team, and also very unusual for one team to have 2 Hall of Famers signing in the same set. 6 different players also contributed relics, which is also pretty high, and the Phillies are also pretty well represented in all of the other inserts throughout the Heritage set. So for me, the Phillies were kind of a no-brainer to try to get for a low price, and in this break, everyone else just seemed to sleep on the Phillies. I got them for about $25. And this is a team that is loaded. $25 is an absolute steal for the Phillies. I went for the Cardinals for very similar reasons. 13 base set cards, that's a lot. The possibility also of the short print Jordan Walker, which is a huge card right now, possibly getting one of those, that would be an enormous pull. And again, the Cardinals have at least 1 or even 2 players in most of the image and design variation parallel sets. There are also 4 autograph signers for the Cardinals, including 1 Hall of Famer in Ted Simmons and 1 future Hall of Famer in Goldschmidt. They have a lot of presence in all of the other insert sets as well. This is a really solid team for a break for Heritage. The potential for the Jordan Walker short print caused the Cardinals to go for more than I would have liked to pay. I think I ended up paying $50 or $55 for this, and that was my absolute ceiling for this team. I wouldn't have paid more than that, so that went right up against what my max was going to be. And I picked up the Angels, weirdly enough, for about the same amount. The Angels usually go for anywhere from about $85 to maybe $110, $115. I got the Angels for about $50, $55 as well. That's very low for the team. I was really happy and surprised to get them. Anytime I get a shot at a Trout or Ohtani parallel autograph or mem card, totally on board for that. Another key player in this set for the Angels that a lot of people, I'm sure, don't even realize is Nolan Ryan. He's in several insert sets, and he signed autographs for this set, so that adds a lot more value to the Angels' possibility of getting, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, pulling some nice card of him. And I learned that info just by studying the checklists. This cost a lot less than what the team's been going for, so I feel good about all 3 of these teams. I think I made good decisions here. So that's what we're looking for, and this gives us an opportunity to see whether the strategy I just shared with you is actually going to get us a home run kind of card, or maybe even 2. This was a full case break, and the name of the breaker was Team BCK, and I got this on eBay. They do breaks on eBay, and I got to tell you, they were actually the fastest sender of any breaker that I've ever dealt with. They had these cards to me within 4 days of the break, which was a nighttime break. So that's extremely fast. Usually it's at least a week and sometimes as much as even 15 days, which can be really irritating to wait that long. But some of these breakers just, they're not really pro about it, and they don't have it together enough to get to your cards quickly. Team BCK did an amazing job with that. I give them high marks, and I want to see how these are packaged to see, if their packaging is as good as their quick shipping. So we'll get Mr. Kershaw out and see if I can get into this box easily. So it's sealed very well. I can hear the cards. It feels like there are stacks of cards that I can hear moving around inside, and this is a pretty heavy box as well, which is awesome. That is a really good sign. It means that my strategy as far as the Cardinals and the Phillies and how many overall cards they have in the set is probably a good strategy. It sounds like there's a lot of cards in here. Let's see if we can get this open easily. There's one side and there's the other. I'm just going to look at this really quickly to see if there's any kind of identifying stuff in here with my name or address, which is not what I want. It doesn't look like there is. In fact, there's a really nice card right on top. That is a huge win. That is a great card right off the top. This is a Shohei Ohtani Decal Edge box topper insert, and that is a really, really sweet card. That's not a real auto on there, as far as I know. I think they all look like that, so it's not a real auto. But that's a big card there. That's a really nice one to win. A box topper insert of Ohtani. Nothing wrong with that. So 3 teams, and this box is full. I mean, this is a totally, pretty full box of cards here. So just from volume alone, I feel like that's pretty great. We see Phillies rookie pitcher's high number card right on top here. I assume that these are organized by team and that they were not all sorted together, but I do not know that. There are more Phillies there, it looks like. Cardinals, and I feel a card in a top loader for the Cardinals. That's always a good sign. Several cards in top loaders for the Cardinals, so that's a great sign there. Here are the Angels, and here are the Angels with a couple of cards in top loaders for them as well. That empties the box. Now we get to go through these. I am going to, of course, save the top loader cards to look at last. That is pretty exciting that we got some out of there. It doesn't look like we have any Phillies cards in top loaders, but boy, look at these 2 stacks of Phillies cards. And remember, I only paid $25 for the Phillies, so this is a ton of cards to get for one team out of a single case break. If this had been a 2-case break, I would look at that stack and say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But this is a ton of cards, and that's just what I was talking about. And, they mixed in some Cardinals here, too. So, actually, there are more Cardinals cards than I expected as well. We get some rookies right off the top, which is great to see. Dalton Guthrie's probably their best prospect, I think. So, we see multiples of his card, which is very nice. Put those there. And then we get Ryan Hesley Cardinals card. And then a nice Bob Gibson flashback card. That is an insert card, so that's a nice pickup. And then we got Goldschmidt in there and Wainwright, 2 nice players for the Cardinals. Lars Nootbaar, still a pretty young player who could have some potential in the future. More Wainwright, Jordan Montgomery, and more Nootbaar there. Quite a lot of Lars Nootbaar cards, actually. And then we go back to the Phillies with Kyle Schwarber and Bryson Stott. Pretty good young player for them as well. And then here's one of the high number Phillies cards that I was talking about. Really pretty World Series cards, and these again are in the style of the 1974 set, very true to the design of the World Series cards for that set. So any high numbers that you get are a really nice pull. There is another one for the Phillies, so that's pretty awesome. Another Dalton Guthrie rookie. Love to see that. Another one there. And remember, we still have a whole nother pack of what I assume are all Phillies cards here. So, I mean, that's a pretty good start. We got some high numbers in there. We got plenty of rookies in there. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see how we do with this stack, and we'll see if this is a mix of Phillies or what. But there's another high number right off the top there. I showed you that in the box. That is a rookie pitcher card for them, and that is a high number, another high number there. Alec Bohm, that's a nice Philly as well. Bryce Harper, of course, I mentioned that he was in this set and had a lot of cards. Was really hoping to get some sort of an alternate image type insert or something like that, and it doesn't look like we pulled anything there. Aaron Judge and Kyle Schwarber share this card, and what happens when this kind of card comes up for the dealer who is doing the break, where it has two teams present on it, basically the dealer splits them up. So if, 4 of these cards came up, the Phillies would get 2 and the Yankees would get 2. If 5 of them came up, then it would still be 2 and 2, and the 5th one they would flip a coin for. So that's basically how a dealer usually handles that, and sometimes they will talk about that in their listing. They'll specifically explain how they handle cards that are shared by more than one team, and that's good information to have, when you're going into a break. It's usually, pretty straightforward stuff, but it's definitely good to know how that's going to be handled if you know that your team has some cards like that. And you can see I got 4 of those. So we also got Richard Nixon, who I didn't realize played for the Phillies, but apparently so. Bryce Harper, Alec Bohm, nice to get those. Nice Mike Schmidt flashback card. That's pretty sweet. Of course, we were hoping for a Schmidt or Carlton auto. We did not get one. It doesn't appear anyway. But still, a ton of cards. Another Mike Schmidt insert card there with Schwarber. So that's a nice card too. And I definitely saw quite a few high numbers in there as well, and the high numbers are very good cards to get. So let's go to our St. Louis stack. We have several cards in top loaders here, which is definitely what you want to see when you're opening a break. You want to see those cards come back in top loaders, or at the very least in sleeves if they're a good card. I'm going to try to get these out of here. It looks like we got a numbered card on the bottom. They're really packed in here quite nicely. There's not going to be any sliding around or any of that kind of stuff. Put that over there, and then we'll go through this top part of the stack. Again, Cardinals were a little higher because of the possibility of pulling a Jordan Walker short print. Would love to get one of those, and maybe one of those is in one of these top loaders. Lars Nootbaar starts us off. There's another card. We talked about Goldschmidt and Guerrero on here, so there were probably multiples of those. We got a couple of them, and the Blue Jays got a couple of them, and that's usually how it goes. Nice Brendan Donovan Gold Cup card there. Zach Thompson rookie. Alec Burleson, a lot of people believe he has some potential as a rookie too. And then we got a New Age Performers card. That is a rookie card of Nolan Gorman. That's actually a nice hit for us. Like to see that. Alec Burleson again. Nolan Gorman, a regular base card there. That's a nice one to get. So a lot of rookies out of here, and that is definitely something to look for when you're examining that checklist. See if there are a bunch of rookies. The Cardinals, as you can see, a ton of rookie cards coming out of here. Some very nice Nolan Gorman cards. Now let's see. This has a top loader card on the bottom, so we're going to see what that card is. Another rookie card there of Liberatore, so that's a nice one too. And let's see what we have back here in the top loader. It is a foil card of Rhys Hoskins, and that is numbered to 999. So not a huge hit for us, but still nice to get a numbered card, even when it's super blurry like that. I don't know why it's so blurry, but there you can see it's numbered to 999. We'll put that there. We have a second stack of Cardinals, and I can feel it feels like there are 3 top-loaded cards at the bottom of this, which is great. That's definitely what we want to see out of here. See if I can get these out of here without revealing anything. All right. That is pretty good. Very well packaged cards. Again, I really, I gotta say, I think this breaker is probably my new favorite breaker. They're very good, and I like them, what they've done so far with this. Paul Goldschmidt starts off this stack of Cardinals. Let's see how we do here. Like I said, and there's a Jordan Montgomery. Miles Mikolas looking very cheerful. Tyler O'Neill will go through these base cards pretty quickly. It looks like the dealer also separated out all the rookies. The previous stack had nothing but rookies, and then these are the veteran base cards. Nice Lou Brock then and now insert. That's pretty sweet. Tommy Edman and Lars Nootbaar again. And then we get into our better cards here. So let's put our other Cardinals back there. See what else we get here. This is a rookie card purple parallel of Ivan Herrera. Purple parallels come in sort of, I guess you could call them, I don't know that I would call them hot boxes, but they're special boxes, and you get a lot of purple parallels, and that's pretty cool. They're not numbered or anything, but still nice to get a rookie purple parallel, and that's just in a sleeve. We've got 4 top-loaded cards. That's an excellent sign. Let's see how we do here. We got a Goldschmidt, and that is an alternate image card. That's exactly what I was hoping to get. That's a big card, the former MVP from last year. Really nice alternate image card there. The regular base set Goldschmidt, as you saw, looks like that. So you can compare the two and very easily spot that this is an alternate image card. That's a great pull. Really big pull there. We got Nolan Gorman rookie purple parallel. That's also a really nice pull. He's a very highly touted rookie. That's a really big card for us. Two really good cards. We still have two more top-loaded cards. Let's see how we do. We got Alec Burleson. I just mentioned him as being a rookie that a lot of people are high on, and that's a nice foil parallel of that player. I don't think those are numbered. I'll check. Let's see what our last card is. It is another Nolan Gorman foil. So that is awesome. We got two Gorman rookies, and that one is numbered, actually. That's numbered to 374, so that's a nice lower numbered parallel card there. That's pretty sweet, like that. Burleson is numbered to 574, so that's not bad either. Pretty awesome. My favorite out of there, though, is got to be that Goldschmidt. That is a really sweet card. I love those alternate image cards. They're usually really good photos. I like that it's sideways. That's a really nice card. That's a big pull. I'm gonna put these two back here with Rhys Hoskins and put these three up front. Those are our best pulls so far, undoubtedly. So now we got the Angels still to go through, and of course with the Angels I'm always hoping to find some kind of great Ohtani or Trout card. We started off with that Ohtani Decoledge box topper card. Really glad to get that one. That is a sweet pull. Of course here we are also looking for, as I said, Nolan Ryan, which any of his cards are going to be, man, they really did a great job putting these in here. Love to see that so the cards don't get damaged. I'm going to do half of this stack. It's a pretty big stack. We'll go through these quickly. Max Stassi starts things off there, Hunter Renfroe. And, I'm always going to be happy to pull the Trout and Ohtani base cards. Those are big cards. Logan O'Hoppe is the other rookie from the Angels that people are talking about. He's, we'll see how any of these, but there are several rookies for the Angels. So that was also, wow, we got a buyback card. Check that out. How are they just putting that in there without putting it in a sleeve? That is nuts. These are really tough pulls this year. That is awesome. Ellie Rodriguez buyback card. That is a really nice hit. That is awesome. I know that Shane at Shoebox Legends will be very excited about that. I'm pretty excited about that too. I think that's the first time I've ever gotten a buyback card out of a break, but that just shows you the scope of what is included when you buy a team in a break. So that is an awesome pull. I'm thrilled about that. That's a really nice one. Very, very happy about that. Let's finish this stack, see if we get any more Trout or Ohtani base cards. I would certainly enjoy seeing more of those. We're getting lots of a nice Reed Detmers Gold Cup card too. That's a good card. Getting lots of rookie cards out of here. There's another Trout. There's a Shohei, and there's a Nolan Ryan. There's our first Nolan Ryan. That is an insert. That's pretty awesome. Very happy to get that. Jared Walsh, another Mike Trout. 3 Mike Trout base cards so far. That is 4 of them now. That is awesome. See if we can get another Ohtani. There we go. And another Ryan. That is awesome too. The Angels, again, I got this for a lot cheaper than they usually go for. This team usually goes for around $100, and I got it for about half that. So pretty excited about that. And we still have this stack of Angels. This is the last batch of cards for us to open, and it feels like there's a top loader on the bottom, or maybe 2. I can't tell. Yeah, 3 top loaders on the bottom. That's sweet. Hopefully we get something really nice out of those. Jared Walsh starts this one off. We'll go through these pretty rapidly again and just kind of pull out any Mike Trout's, a pile of Mike Trout base cards here. Another Nolan Ryan insert. There he is with Alcantara. Put that over there. Another Ohtani. We got a few of those so far, and there's a 4th one. Awesome to see that. And this is what I'm talking about. You buy the team and the dealer isn't going to send you the veteran base cards. I mean, you'd be missing out on all of this. That just doesn't make sense to me. You really, to my mind, you really want to avoid those kinds of breaks. They're not what you want. Another Mike Trout there. Man, that is awesome. All right, so we're down to the stuff that is in top loaders, and I count 3 top loaders. So let's see what we can pull here. See what we can get. We got a Mike Trout alternate image card. That is what I'm talking about. That is a sweet, sweet card. Here is the regular Trout to compare it to. That's a big hit for us. That That is a nice card. You can look that one up on eBay. That probably covers the cost of the Angels in this break. That is a really awesome card to pull. Very happy with that. So very nice Mike Trout pull there. That is a really, definitely a home run for us there. Ohtani, and that card is, that is another of those unusual cards. I'll show you what's different about this. Same image, but this is the normal card where the position is up here and the player name is down here. On this card, the player name is reversed and it's down there. The position is down there. That is a huge pull too. That is awesome, man. We are knocking it out of the park with this Angels break, and I think we did really well with the Cardinals break too. Could have done better with Phillies, but no complaints there. And there's wow, I just showed that I pulled an Ohtani mem card. Wow. And there is another one. I'm just going to compare the two. They look almost identical. They really do. They look very nicely centered and really good cards. That is awesome. That is great. I may have to think about what I want to do with that card. I'm tempted to give it away. I have to stay tuned to the channel, and I'll decide next week if I want to give this second Ohtani mem card away. I'm very tempted to do that. A friend of mine, the reason I'm not right away is because a friend of mine also collects Ohtani pretty heavily, and I want to offer it to him first and see if it's one that he doesn't have already. So I'll check with him, and if it's one that he doesn't need, then. But in any event, man, look at this. I mean, we couldn't have done much better with the Angels unless we got an autograph. But again, those are really tough pulls. Those are kind of grand slam cards. We got a legitimate pile of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani base cards. We got several Nolan Ryan cards. We got a buyback card. That is fantastic. Really happy about that. And even better than that, we got an Ohtani mem card and a couple of the variation cards, an Ohtani and a Trout variation. Those are big, big pulls from the Cardinals. We did not get the Jordan Walker short print, was really hoping for that one, but we did very well with the Cardinals. We got two Nolan Gorman foil parallel rookies, one in purple and one in, I think this is silver, because it looks a little bit different than the other ones I saw. It has kind of almost sort of a gunmetal color to it. I don't know if it's going to show up when I get it in focus here. You can kind of hard to see that, but anyway, it's a pretty low numbered Nolan Gorman pull. And then we got the Paul Goldschmidt image variation card. That's a really, really nice pull. Happy with that. Also got some other nice pulls back here. And though we didn't get any big hits from the Phillies, we did get a lot of cards from the Phillies, and that was only $25. That was maybe not as good as we had hoped, but we still did get a lot of volume. If I had bought them as my favorite team, I would be really pretty happy with this pile of Phillies cards. Also a lot of the high numbers in there, so I think that's not too bad. But the big hits of the day were these Ohtani and Trout cards, no question about that. Also nice to get the alternate image Goldschmidt. So you guys tell me what you think in the comments. I mean, I used the strategy that I outlined earlier in this extremely long video to make my decisions about what I was going to spend on these and what teams I was going to target. And I feel pretty good about the results, honestly. I feel like I did pretty well. But you guys let me know in the comments how you think I did. And would love to also know if this is the kind of video that you enjoy, where I kind of talk about different strategies about how I buy cards and make decisions about my collection, because I can do more videos like this about other topics. Thank you so much. If you watched this whole video, you are a superstar. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is it's easily the longest video I've ever posted. And I really hope that you enjoyed part of it, or maybe even all of it. I don't know, but would really love your feedback. If this was too much to watch, please tell me that too, and I won't do something like this again. Hope you guys are having a great week. Tomorrow, double dorking with dice, and that's going to be a lot of fun for us. We always enjoy that a lot. If you've never seen it before, you do not want to miss it. It's just great stuff. I'll see you back here then, and as always, happy collecting.